A data plan, buddy. Download the My Digicel app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store today. Digicel, better together.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
My name is Amrita Koshal, and this is your nightly newscast. According to attorney Edward Laku, there is no evidence to support the contention that former CEO of the New Building Society, Maurice Arjun, was rightfully dismissed from the mortgage financing institution. On Monday, Senior Counsel Laku presented his oral arguments in response to attorney Pauline Chase, the lawyer for NBS, challenging the decision of a High Court judge to rule in favor of and grant a judgment award to Arjun, and fiercely defended his client, telling the appeal court bench that there was no misconduct on part of him. He also emphasized the lack of evidence to support the appeal filed by NBS to challenge Arjun's right to his pension and benefits as a former head of the institution. The court case came about after the former CEO and two of his managers were fired on allegations of fraud in 2006 regarding a $69 million withdrawal made from the account of Bibi Shamina Khan, a member of society at the time. Mr. Laku is scheduled to continue his presentation when the case continues in March. Moving on, government has tabled a motion to mandate the Parliamentary Committee of Appointments, of which it has the majority, to select a nominee to sit on the controversial board of directors of the Natural Resources Fund, the mechanism set up to manage the proceeds from this country's oil resources. Observers say, given the divisive nature of the current parliament, it will come down to a vote, and the PPPC government, with a majority on the committee, would more than likely have their nominee go forward. As such, with the National Assembly nominee in the bag and the PSC given its coziness with the government, the PPP will have total control over the board. The Natural Resource Fund Act has been widely condemned, but it was rushed through Parliament late last year. In addition to the Board of Directors, the Act makes provisions for other committees, all of which would be dominated by government nominees. In other stories, we now tell you that social activist Jonathan Yearwood has announced his resignation as the representative of the list for ANUG, and political commentators say former President David Granger should do likewise, with his party currently locked in a leadership dispute. Earlier this month, the People's National Congress Reform, the major party in APNU coalition, decided that they want to be led in Parliament by their newly elected party leader Aubrey Norton, who will take the place of the current opposition leader Joseph Harman. Moving on, we now tell you that opposition member of Parliament David Patterson has submitted several questions to the National Assembly seeking answers from the government on ExxonMobil's outstanding audits dating back to 2017. The queries have already been approved by the House Speaker Manzoor Nadir and published on the notice paper. The National Assembly will meet on Monday next week. Patterson has so far asked that the Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, say whether his ministry has approached ExxonMobil for an extension of the deadline to facilitate the auditing of the company's $9 billion expenses. And if so, the Member of Parliament has also requested that the minister provide the House with documents, including the response from Exxon. And we now tell you that in an effort to stave off a possible split between the AFC and the PNC, a compromise was reached for Ms. Diana Rajkumar to be the second nominee of the coalition for the long-awaited Public Procurement Commission. Rajkumar is said to be an executive of the AFC and has replaced economist Raul Lucas. Time check for you, 7 hours 7. We will return with more news for you shortly after the break.
I'm Sean Devers inviting you to join me this and every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. for the Sean Devers Sports Watch on Kaieteur Radio's 99.1 FM, 99.5 FM in Berbice, and live on Kaieteur Radio Facebook page. News, views, interviews, and your calls. So join me and let's talk sports.
And now back with more news in detail. We tell you that Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nanla was this morning given the green light to approach the Caribbean Court of Justice to appeal the recent decision of Guyana's Court of Appeal to hear an elections petition case, which was thrown out by Roxanne George Wiltshire on January 18, 2021. However, the matter was appealed, and Guyana's Appellate Court on December 21, 2021, in a majority decision, ruled that it has jurisdiction to hear an appeal challenging the decision of the acting Chief Justice. And we now tell you that a missing person report for a 10-year-old boy, Andrew Gomes, was filed at the Wim police station on Monday by his mother, Anita Gomes, after her son had left home to return 2 bottles at the shop. A visit to the shop revealed that the boy never showed up. According to her, he left home in a pair of brown short pants, a gray t-shirt, and slippers on his feet. Anyone with information about his whereabouts can contact her on 668-5505. And we now tell you that as the deadly coronavirus and its variants continue to plow through the country with almost 1,000 cases each day, the Guyana Teachers Union has renewed its call for the Ministry of Education to close school doors across the country for 2 weeks. President of the GTU, Mark Light, over the weekend dispatched a fresh letter to the CEO, Dr. Marcel Hudson, reinforcing the union's call for the closure of public school doors. The union said it understands that about 152 schools have reported positive instances for teachers, learners, or support staff. As a consequence, quote unquote, we propose that teachers engage learners virtually during these 14 days, while the Ministry of Education reassesses its face-to-face plan for learners during this pandemic, the GTU told the CEO. And breaking news just in, man drops dead moments ago at the Amerindian hostel located on Princess Street, Georgetown, after reportedly vomiting blood. Get the details in tomorrow's Kaieteur News. My name is Amrita Koshal, and this was your nightly newscast.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.